Hello, welcome to a very special, or the first of many, what will eventually not be special episodes of the Replimat, in which Tim and I, nerds over there, will be watching, in order, every existing episode of Doctor Who. This will be exclusively on Patreon, with a few highlights on YouTube, which is why I'm making this intro for you guys and for the Spotify listeners, to say, come over to Patreon and join Tim and I as we watch every existing episode of Doctor Who, which will include the animations, for those wondering. 3 episodes a month, which is a nice 75-minute chunk, until we get to New Who, and then we will decide how we're going to play it, because episode duration changes. Anyway, YouTubers, enjoy the edited highlights, and I'll be at the end just to remind you of where to go to watch it.
But first, as is our wont on these things, Andy, how has your week been?
My week has been quite interesting, actually. Progress at work, in the sense that hopefully as of tomorrow I'll become process lead, which is going to annoy some people, but that's just too bad. Sometimes it's good to knock a few noises out of joint and shake up the status quo. Out with the old, in with the new. Definitely a good thing in most jobs eventually. Which, all things being equal, as I explained to my manager yesterday, we were just having a conversation. Then later on, I said to us, the process lead is just a step in my plan to hopefully assume the role of supervisor of the shift itself.
Right.
And a few seconds later, she sent me some stuff that supervisors usually do. She goes, "Oh, can you do this for me? Send me a list of stuff I need to check out, find out who did this and that." It's like, I guess that's her way of saying, right, we'll see what you can do. So I was like, cool, I shall do it then. So that was fun. Cool. Fingers crossed, I'll be into my orange vest as of tomorrow, hopefully. When I say vest, I mean high-vis vest, not like a model vest.
Right.
Outside
I'm assuming you'd like to wear more than that as well, because it's a bit chilly at the moment.
I'm wearing a woolly hat, certainly. Hat, gloves. Sometimes I wrap my scarf on my neck by the time we get to the latter half of the shift, because it's getting very cold in the depot. Outside of that, I have obviously been watching Sobak H. I'm on 208 now. Other than that, this week, I've not actually watched a whole lot of anything else, really. I've watched a few Tales of Unexpected. I've got back to Where to Wolf today, series 5. Again, comedy, need some laughs occasionally. So I thought, get back to that. Do the next 4 seasons before I have to buy the rest of it. So I'm nearing the stuff soon that I've not seen. I think I've seen up to series 6. I think before. I'll soon find out when it all changes. I'll be like, don't recognize any of this. Beyond that, obviously watched Underwater Menace, because Doctor Who. We don't usually talk Doctor Who here, but we can today, which I enjoyed quite a lot, actually, with a nice visual representation, good animation, so much better than the heydays of Ice Warriors, when it looked like those puppets. Remember them? You cut out puppets. You cut the arms and the limbs out, and you put this little metal pin in and flip it down, and the joint just sort of did that. Or maybe not like that, because
I quite like the animation on the Underwater Menace. Ice Warriors.
Oh yes, really? Yeah. We'll get to that anyway. And
we will when we get there.
I'll say in due course, in a few years, probably.
In a few years, yeah.
Because obviously, if we're doing only 3 a month, that's average up the story, maybe ish a month, depending, or less possibly. So it's going to take us a while. So literally, by the end of our first year, we'll have just about finished the first season.
Probably, yeah. So we'll probably get there in about 2030 or something like that.
Good God, we're going to be so
what have we set? What have we set ourselves up for?
Doctor Who may have been killed off finally on TV. It could happen eventually. It's only going to last so long before it dies again. That's basically it. I've been only thing I've been reading is the Cliff autobiography. I've reached, as well, just before this started, I'm up to the bit where basically it's going to run mid-ish 90s now for him. which is
Right.
basically when he decides he gets a slap session with he is determined to turn Wuthering Heights into a musical, which in fairness
Yes.
he does with Tim. It's actually quite good. I don't know if you've ever watched Heathcliff. It's actually pretty good.
I haven't, but I do remember. I do remember a lot of stuff about it. Yeah.
It's I've watched it several times. I even have it on the shelf up there. It's good. It's there's a whole lot of the book not in it. A whole lot of the book not in it. And it's because Cliff, as I recall, I'm sure I'll get back to that when he gets to it in his autobiography. He's convinced it's just a dark love story, but it's like, well, it's so much more than that. It's a lot darker than a love story. I've read the book, and it is not a love story. It's a story of obsession and possession. It's not a love story. Love is not obsession. But anyway, in terms, you may recall also last week even, I mentioned how I'm a bit of a Cliff, listen through all of his stuff. And I was
Yes.
up to the 70s, early 70s, I believe I was. I'm now up to 2002. So, which is quite
Right.
cool because 2002 is when he released, which I recently bought actually, a collect box set of every single on CD, which is quite nice.
Okay.
So I get to revisit everything I've listened to in the last few weeks, but just the singles, which are sometimes slightly different versions anyway. And of course, there's a few singles that weren't on albums, so there'll be stuff I haven't actually got around to listen to yet. So I'm getting quite well. Anyway, Tim, dare I
Yeah.
ask before we get into Doctor Who,
Well,
how's your
yeah.
week been?
Last Saturday, when we were talking about DS9, I'd hurt my back,
You have, yes.
and that's been with me the whole week, basically. So I've been working, but generally working from home, pottering around generally in a lot of discomfort, filling myself full of painkillers, and not doing an awful lot else, I have to say, because it is quite exhausting having a bad back. It does feel this end of this week, it feels like it's improving. Although I'm suffering from having gone out and done the family shop earlier today. So
Because you're getting
I've not
better,
done a
eh?
huge amount. I've watched The Underwater Menace like you did, and I really enjoyed it, which is great. This arrived in the post today. So
Which is you can't see it on your window because you only can see a bit of it.
oh,
But on the full screen version, it is just there. If I go a bit closer, you can see me pointing at it. It's just there.
okay, cool.
I put it on display as well, but
So
on the widescreen, everybody can see it.
I look forward to reading that, and I have. I've not done a lot of the work I should have been doing because I haven't really felt like it. But I have also started reading some of the short stories in my Bram Stoker Dracula's Guest. So I read The Judge's
Hopefully
House.
better than the actual Dracula's Guest.
Yeah, I've read Dracula's Guest a couple of times, so I haven't read that one again this time. I've read, but some of his other gothic stories, which are quite nice. Stuff's kind of gets signposted early on, but it's good fun, and they're relatively short. So, yeah, that's been my dull and uneventful week. I'm afraid. So
Okay.
for the backache.
Right, in that case, it sounds to me like you need to relax.
It does. Perhaps with an episode of Doctor Who or three.
Let's watch a different sort of old man, shall we? Slightly
Right.
older than we are, as it will turn out.
This is brilliant. The way they just allow the music to take you
to
lead you into the episode.
Yeah.
Properly. It's just.
First time I would have watched this was on VHS. So it would have
Really?
been late 80s, early 90s, I guess.
First time I watched it was the Five Faces of Doctor Who repeats.
I never watched any of it.
In 81.
No.
And I remember being really excited to see what really old Doctor Who looked like.
That was a nice scene change, actually. From one to the other, it kind of works really well.
And I just... both this one and the Crotons, I found really odd.
I want to know what that girl whispered to a friend. Always wanted to know. It's like it sounded.
I assume it's something.
Something
I assume
dirty.
something derogatory about the guy that had just walked
Yeah,
past.
or doesn't he look a bit like Cliff Richard?
You and Cliff Richard.
Stir Cliff to you. I love this scene's great as well. It's a bit dodgy though. Maybe not back then. But again, it shows how different times, isn't it? That you've got these two school teachers who are basically stalking a school child,
Yeah.
literally following her home. You could say we're concerned, but it's snooping, isn't it? It's just snooping.
These days you'd report it to social services and
Yeah.
let them deal with it. How long are we in now? About 10 minutes?
We are now 11 minutes, 53 seconds. So say 11
Okay.
minutes since the doctor, until the doctor,
11 minutes until the Doctor first appears.
which shows an odd sense of confidence, really.
Well, it shows where the audience focus is. It's obviously with Ian and Barbara.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they are. I mean, for the first year and a bit. I thought it in the first 65. So first year and a bit, yeah. It was their story.
Yes,
All
very
right,
much so.
it's only after they go that it becomes the Doctor story, really. This is a great cliffhanger. Anything could have come from this. Anything.
I remember that was my thinking when I watched this episode.
Where the fuck is
first
this going?
in 1981. I was thinking, what is that?
Yeah, you don't know it's going to Earth, do you?
Wow.
Maybe it's not Earth, actually. Yeah. Maybe this is actually the past of Skaro. We don't know. It's never made clear.
Well, it's you. Although in the first episode there were a lot of long scenes. I say a lot of long scenes. There were a few long scenes that made up the episode. It was setting everything up, introducing the characters, and very much guiding the viewer. This is
like what fire?
This is different already. I'm not saying it's bad, but again, you've got long scenes in all three of these cavemen episodes.
Do you know? I think, certainly for me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, I don't think this is a bad first story, really.
No, I don't. If this is the tribe of Gum, why are they worshipping Orb?
Who is Gum anyway? Is that is that what that guy's name is? Maybe Gum maybe Gum is their family name.
Maybe, yeah.
Name. You know, it's
Gum,
Cow
Gum, Borg
Gum, My
Old
Gum,
Woman Gum,
Old Woman Gum, yeah. And it's probably something they called My. That is my. That's mine. Mine Gum, yes.
He's got one of those odd voices, Hawg. He always sounds as if he's about to break into song.
Orb, is his name Orb?
Org. H-O-R-G.
I was going to say Orb. Have you got the
Orb's the sun god.
Hawg. The subtitles.
No, I don't actually.
How do you know their names?
I'm just clever like that.
I can retain these things. Excuse you.
Yes, I've seen this a number of times. But yeah, he always sounds as if he's about to break into song. It's hilarious.
You are my daughter, and she. Okay, viewers, we're going to do 4, but obviously we'll make sure this is clear on social media so they know what they're going into. But there's the pause button if you viewers want to not do episode 4 right now.
He scolds with the lower jaw connected. That's
impressive.
He said pedantically.
Yeah. Because let's face it, that would happen in real life, wouldn't it? Or real death.
I tell you, it's only when you see William Hartnell sat down like that you realise he's quite a slight man.
He's also not even remotely as old as he appears.
No.
How old is he when he made this?
55. I know, it's no age at all. Is it?
She's got over her panic. Now she's gone practical again. Like, no, someone's in pain. I have to help them. See? Again, this just proves wonder if that was really red on him or not. If it was, it looked so much more gruesome if it was in colour.
It was pretty
Yeah,
gruesome, yeah.
I was going to say this scene again demonstrates that the Doctor is not a hero.
No, he's
Anybody who says he was a hero before he left, before he arrived on Earth, is absolutely rewriting the narrative of Doctor Who.
yeah, he's I'd say he's amoral at the moment.
Mm.
He's not necessarily good. He's certainly not evil. Yeah, you see, these episodes are quite flying by when you're talking through them.
Yeah, when you talk over them, yeah,
That's
don't they?
there's an interesting point. Interesting point there. This is it's an idea that is repeated several times over during this. Certainly during the first couple of years of the show, easily the first year anyway, of them almost getting back to the TARDIS and then being prevented, so that they can't get there until they've fully resolved the situation.
You're not going anywhere till you solve this plot. Yeah. Do you know, fact fans, not at the time, in the 80s, I lived about 20 minutes away from where they filmed these episodes.
Well.
In Ladbroke Grove, not Ladbroke Grove. What's it called? What's it called? What's the studio called?
What's what called?
The studios they filmed in. What are they called again?
What, Ealing Studios?
No, because they filmed not this particular scene, but most of it. They filmed it in the really cramped, dirty.
Oh, in Lime Grove.
That's it, Lime Grove.
Yeah, they filmed in Lime Grove. Yeah,
not Ladbroke Grove. Yeah, Lime Grove. Yeah, that was just down the road from where I lived in the 80s and most of the 90s. In fact, where I actually lived in White City Estate was basically behind BBC TV Centre.
Oh, okay. Cool.
The Blue Peter Park.
Oh. And this is only episode 4 that we get any indication that he can't control the machine properly.
Mm-hmm. It's the ethos building straight away, all the way through it.
Oh, thank you very much. And Unearthly Child.
Yes.
And the Tribe of Gum.
I enjoyed that a lot, actually. I mean, granted, we didn't really watch much of it.
Well, I was
in the background, wasn't it?
Thank you for joining us on this on the start of this journey.
Very long journey.
Indeed. Ordinarily, we'd be watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine, so please do feel free to join us on that journey too, if you're new to us here today. There's a cat for your delectation, and there's a cat's arse. We don't want to see that. So if you want to follow us and find out what we're up to generally in life, as it were, we do have a social media presence, which will be in the comments below. Is that right? In the comments below. Yeah. So and give us some feedback if you feel like it. Like and subscribe. These are all good things. They give us a sense of enormous well-being. And help us get promoted out there in the world at large as well. But yes, thank you very much, and we will be back next week with an episode 15 of season 2 of Deep Space Nine.
I believe it's 15, and it's called, by the way, Tim, Paradise.
Yeah. Paradise. Yes. Well, that sounds nice.
Okay. So I hope you enjoy the highlights. There's a lot more. We literally go through the first 4 episodes, and we have some little chats in between episodes too. And we go all over the place. We take our own little time travel journey. We cover a lot of ground in this episode of what the conversation it inspires. But yeah, so YouTubers, Spotifyers, pop over the Patreon and join us for this almost 2-hour journey through the first 4 episodes of Doctor Who. Not free, as we said at the beginning, but these things will change. So yes, please do join us. as well, I can say, as Tim has said, if you're on Patreon, as Tim has said. If you're not on Patreon, as I'm saying, we'll be back next week for more DS9 for Paradise, which Tim found might be interesting. Sounds nice.
Yes,
Until then,
that's very nice.
I've been Andy. He's
I've
been
been
Tim.
Tim.
He has been Tim, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, bye-bye, Duggan.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.